presenting his screen. Let's just wait till 7:10. Would that be ideal? Probably
Sure.
you can see the
Yeah,
number going up constantly.
sure.
Yeah, 7:30, 7:10 would be an ideal time to start. So wait for that.
I'll also share the link on my groups so that I've done so. I'll send a reminder as well. More people should join.
Sure, that'd be great.
It's very difficult for crypto to become a complete currency. Probably it would need some sort of support initially from the governments. Let's see what happens in El Salvador after maybe 1 or 2 years. They have legalized crypto as an asset and have a crypto city, and they've been doing a lot of innovative things. So let's see where that goes, and probably waiting for Meta to launch their own crypto services, what they do with their currency, what they do with WhatsApp, Novi payments, and a lot of the stuff that they're coming up with. Primarily, the creator economy, as we see, is also a lot of the times driven by crypto. So, I mean, in nowadays, because a lot of the, I mean, if you see Snoop Dogg's latest Super Bowl thing, so he sold his latest records for 44 million at the last that I checked. And all of those transactions were made in crypto, and the rights to his songs were purchased in the form of NFTs. So all of this is a complete ecosystem. A lot of things to be explored.
That's really interesting. And following up on that, what do you think about all the crypto that gets lost?
Lost as in?
Uh, yeah, like the reason why a lot of cryptos it just disappears. Like we see a lot of coins that just show up and then just completely disappear. Do you think that creates an issue?
Not really, because I would say at the end, the goal for each crypto is to add more liquidity to this. So basically, liquidity is how much hard cash you can have in your hands, how easy it is to
Yeah.
convert crypto to cash. So the idea is if any coin is adding more liquidity, as in if any coin is allowing you to have that coin, and you can also convert that coin to hard cash or USDT easily, and then probably draw
Yeah.
money from your bank account. So it's good for the system. But
All
what
right.
happens is, when somebody's launching a cryptocurrency, so there's a team behind it, right? And the job of
Yeah.
this team is to create a tokenomics. So tokenomics is basically the utility behind that coin. So if the coin does not have a good utility, then it's absolutely, I mean, I would say it's very hard for that coin to survive. So a lot of people come up
Okay.
with answers like meme coin hai, so meme coin does not have any utility. But a meme coin has community, and that meme coin is also driving entertainment for that community. So entertainment is a huge utility that is added to the
Got it.
community. So if a coin has utility, things should go well, unless they don't screw up in some really dumb manner. Otherwise, the coin is bound to succeed.
Yeah, that was great. So with this, we can know the session is going to be quite exciting just by these answers. So in a minute, we'll be starting the actual webinar. So
We have a
get
question
ready,
from
guys.
Vignesh. Is it okay if we can just read this? Because then we'll only take sessions in the AMA. We don't. I mean, we'll not like sort of entertain questions in the middle of the PPT. So let's just take this
Yeah,
one.
sure. So just take this one and then we launch into the webinar and then we go to the AMA session at the end.
Yeah. So does it have anything to do with the mining of crypto, as the crypto which is being mined more stays for long and the ones that are not disappear? See, what happens is so there's a difference between token and crypto. So and there's a subtle difference, and there's a lot of confusion around the same. So crypto which is being mined is different from tokens. Tokens are basically you could say, you have satellites and then you have geostationary satellites. Geostationary satellites just sort of mimic the original satellites, the planets. So similarly, tokens just mimic the crypto. Crypto have their own blockchains, and for all transactions, there is some sort of mining process going on through which these cryptos are being generated. But for all the other tokens that are actually mimicking the original cryptos, so these are not being mined. These are being created by the development team. So as such, it has nothing to do with it. But I will have to really check up on that. I don't think, but there's a lot of relevance to the mining aspect of it.
I think that has answered your question, Vignesh. So with that, Good evening, everyone. I'm Likit, and with me is Irfan. On behalf of IST NITC, I'd like to welcome you all to this exciting webinar on blockchain and Web3 as a part of a brand new monthly series, Tech Sorted. Tech Sorted brings you the most exotic, contemporary, and relevant tech topics in an engaging way. And in order to kindle the desire for learning about the hottest tech news in the world, we aim to deliver them in a simple and an engaging manner that captivates everyone. So the second edition of Tech Sorted brings you an exciting session on blockchain and webinar 3 in collaboration with Mayor. Our speaker today is Mr. Lakshat Madan, founder of Mayor, and he's had more than 2 years of experience as a web and blockchain developer, and he's an expert in this field and in DApp development. So we can't wait to hear him as he takes us through the blockchain technology, its working principles, and its applications. And to all the participants, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please put them in our chat boxes, and we shall address them at the end in the question and answer session. So, Mr. Lakshit, over to you.
Thank you so much, Likit. So, hi everyone. Let me give a brief introduction about myself. So, I started with blockchain in 2018, and earlier I was into web development. And when I came to know about blockchain, I was very fascinated by the applications. So I started my journey doing writing research papers, doing research into blockchain, and learning more. And when I graduated, I also started doing blockchain development, and I have also worked as a blockchain developer with a service-based company. And currently, we at Mayor, what basically we are doing, we are curating quality content for students like you and for people who want to get into blockchain. We help them. We help them with blockchain development, and we also help them with crypto investments. Also, we are also curating content on YouTube, on Medium. We are curating Medium blogs. On Instagram, we are curating short reels, and yeah, that's all. Currently what we are doing. And so today I'll be teaching you about Web 3.0. So firstly, we'll be starting with Web 3.0, and then we'll get to blockchain. We'll get to know about the opportunities into blockchain. What is blockchain? The architecture of the whole technology, and what are the applications of the technology. And we'll also, in the end, as Likit said, we'll be taking AMA sessions, and you can ask the questions here. So, guys, let's start. Let me share my screen. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so let's start. So today these will be the contents that we'll be talking about. So first, let's start with what is Web 3.0 basically. So before getting to Web 3.0, let's see what is the evolution of web. So first was the Web 1.0. So in Web 1.0, there were static websites through which we can read content, and those websites were built using HTML, CSS, and we used to get contact information on those websites such as fax, emails, phone number, etc. So next comes the Web 2.0. Web 2.0 is that era in which we saw social media such as Facebook, we saw Snapchat, we saw WhatsApp, and we also saw some other products such as Amazon, Flipkart. So these are basically the Web 2.0 era, where users can interact with those websites, or we can say web applications, through which we get a better UI. And those websites or web apps were built using JavaScript to give a rich UI experience, and to give a response and to show responsive websites to the users. And Web 2.0 actually increased the social activities as well using social networking. And next comes the Web 3.0, which we call the decentralized era. So as we know that when this metaverse thing came up, and when we saw that Facebook is now shifting to Meta. So this thing started with Web 3.0, which we also call the decentralized web. So earlier we saw that Web 1.0 and 2.0, these were a centralized web applications. Means someone was someone was there was a central authority who were operating this Web 0.0 and Web 2.0. But when it comes to the decentralized era, like people are only responsible for their own data here, and no central authority is governing this whole network or the Web 3.0 internet. So as we see that in Web 1.0 and 2.0, there were issues such as there was UI was not responsive. As users were not able to interact with the websites more. Plus, there were some transparency issues, data management issues, and our data was even not was private, and there were many cases of hacking and data leaks. So, Web 3.0 actually focuses to overcome all these issues by giving us a decentralized, by using decentralized technologies such as blockchain. So this is the difference between Web 1.0, 2.0, and Web 3.0. In Web 1.0, we saw the basic web pages, HTML, e-commerce, Java, JavaScript, and Web 2.0 comes the social media, the era which we where we saw content. We use web applications, we use high quality camera, video applications, and high speed communication, global internet access. And now comes the Web 3.0. It is basically, as I said, it is a decentralized era. It is the metaverse era, where we use technology such as virtual reality, augmented reality. We get to see NFTs, we get to see artificial intelligence, decentralized applications, and where users can also monetize their content, or they can also monetize their data. And users are responsible for their own data because there is no central authority governing Web 3.0. So that was the basic difference between Web 3.0, Web 1.0, and Web 2.0. Now comes the characteristics of Web 3.0. So Web 3.0 overcomes the issues which were faced by Web 1.0 and 2.0. That was digital identities, micropayments, trust, complete connectivity. Web 3.0 offers, with the help of blockchain, Web 3.0 offers complete connectivity. It offers trust and transparency because the data which is stored on the blockchain, it is totally encrypted and open to anyone, and people are responsible for their own data. So, and the data is also stored on a distributed ledger. So that's how trust and transparency comes. There comes the micropayments through which the payments we are making through crypto, and the digital identities that are the NFTs through which we can make the ownership of our own digital assets. So basically, when blockchain came, actually the Web 3.0 era came. So we can say Web 3.0 came when blockchain existed, or we can say like Web 3.0 came from blockchain. So now coming to the blockchain part, let's understand what is blockchain. So in layman terms, we can say a blockchain is just basically a chain of blocks, and all these blocks are connected to each other, and each block has a hash. It has a previous hash. It contains the data. Or blockchain is just like a database, but not a centralized one, because it is a distributed database. It is a shared ledger through which we can see the data, and the transparency on the data remains. So next come to the properties of the blockchain, that is transparency. It's immutable records, distributed ledger technology, and security. So blockchain is a distributed ledger. It is distributed towards the whole world. It is a ledger or a table through which all the transactions are recorded, and we can view all those transactions. Plus, we cannot see the data because the data is encrypted, but we can see the transactions. Suppose if you are sending money to a person, and that person says that he hasn't received the money, but now how we will check the proof? So if you are sending transactions through a cryptocurrency or cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency works on blockchain, through that all the transactions are recorded in the particular ledger. So through that you can show to that particular person that you have sent the money, because through this transparency will also be maintained. And once a transaction is stored on the blockchain, it is immutable, means it cannot be changed, it cannot be modified, and it cannot be deleted. Plus, last comes the security. Security part I'll explain in the next slide. So here I'll explain the security part. So that is the structure of the blockchain. First comes the Genesis block. So the first block in the blockchain is known as the Genesis block. And then comes the block 2, 3, and so on. And as I said, a block contains a data, a previous hash, and the hash value. So this hash value is the current hash value of the each of the particular block, and we can say that block contains that same hash value of the Genesis block. So that's how this chain forms. That's how all these blocks are connected to each other. And here comes the security part. As we say that all these blocks are connected to each other, and one if someone tries to tamper with the chain, or if someone tries to tamper with your data, the data is encrypted using certain cryptographic hashing algorithms, such as SHA-1 Kechik-256 algorithms. Or if someone tries to tamper with the chain, or if suppose if someone is trying to tamper with the block 3 part, and he's trying to change this hash value. So, but the user, if he succeeds in changing the hash value, so as I said, all these hashes are connected to each other. So they will automatically get changed. So that's how it is almost impossible to hack the blockchain. So this is the architecture of the blockchain technology. On this side, we can see there is a centralized architecture, that is the Web 1.0 and the Web 2.0. And here comes the decentralized and the distributed part. So blockchain is decentralized as well as distributed because all these dots are the nodes or the miners which are sitting across the world, and they are connected through each other. And the nodes and the miners are the one who validate the blockchain, and the one who validate the transactions happening in the blockchain. So blockchain has a distributed architecture. It is a distributed data in which all these nodes are also known as the administrators as well, and the miners. So nodes and miners are basically the one thing, and they are the one who maintain this whole network. And when it comes to the centralized, there are certain centralized authorities which maintain the whole network, and they also govern through our data. But in decentralized, it is not so. Next, coming to the key characteristics and the major characteristics of blockchain technology. So cryptography is used in the blockchain where we use certain cryptographic hashing algorithms to verify the transactions and to encrypt the data which is stored on the blockchain, because the data is encrypted. The data is encrypted on the blockchain, and it can be decrypted with the concept of private and public keys. That is something different, which we can talk in other slides. So next comes the immutability. So once a record or a transaction is stored on the on the distributed ledger, it cannot be changed and it cannot be modified. But in centralized databases, what happens is once a data is stored, it can be hacked and it cannot, because the central authority is there to govern that data. But in blockchain, it is not so. The data is immutable. Provenance. You can also trace the origin of each transaction on the blockchain ledger, because once a transaction is stored, you can see from where the transaction came and what was the origin of the transaction. And next comes the transparency. As I explained the earlier about sending a money, as I gave an example of a person of sending a money to another one. So that's where the transparency is proved. So the data is stored on the blockchain. It is totally transparent. Anyone can see the data. So that's how transparency is maintained with the help of blockchain technology. Next come, how does a transaction get into the blockchain? So suppose if I'm sitting on my laptop and I'm making a transaction on the blockchain. So first, suppose if I am sending a Bitcoin to a particular person. So first the transaction will be requested and it will be authenticated. Then a block representing that transaction will be created and the block will be sent to each node. So what will happen? Each node will validate the transaction. They will check the transaction is legitimate or not. And then if it is validated, the node will receive a reward using proof of work consensus mechanism that generally happens in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then the particular block will be added to the blockchain. And that's how transaction will be updated on the distributed ledger that the block is added, and that's how transaction will be completed. And this is that's how a transaction looks like basically on Etherscan. So Etherscan is a blockchain explorer. There you can check your transactions which were happened on Ethereum blockchain. So that's how a blockchain transaction in real look like. So that is the transaction hash the status, whether it's success or not. The block, as I said, block 123. So that is the number of that particular block. The timestamp when the block was added, the from that is that the origin through which the transaction was made, and to the one the transaction was made. The value which was sent in the block, that is 0.007 ether, and in the dollar it is 12.21. Transaction fee is the fee which is paid to the miner or the node, the reward which he receives from mining. And this is the gas limit. Gas used by transaction is this. Gas price was 1 goe. Goe is basically a unit of ether only. So ether has some different units such as Wei, goe. They vary. And this is the nonce. So what happens is, coming to this slide again, when the nodes were validating the transaction, so there was not only one node, there were many nodes. So each node will get a pattern to solve. So जो पहला node जो भी कोई pattern उसको solve कर लेगा पहले, that is the nonce. So that particular node will get to mine the blocks. So that is the nonce. In this case, the nonce was 4, and this was the input data, which was 0. But the data is stored in the form of X, so that is why 0x. Now coming to different types of blockchain technologies. So there are two types of blockchain technologies. One is public, second one is private. So that is the difference between private and public blockchain technologies. Public blockchain technologies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are part of the public blockchain technologies. Means anyone can participate in the public blockchain technology. Whereas in private, participants are pre-selected. It is not open to anyone. In public blockchain, cryptocurrencies are required. That is, Ethereum has its own native crypto, that is Ether. And in private, no cryptocurrency is required. The decentralization rate in public blockchain is very high, and in private, the decentralization rate is very low. Whereas when it comes to the throughput, in public blockchain, throughput is very less. In private, the throughput is very high. That is because in private, there are less number of entities in that particular network. In public, there are a lot of entities. That is why throughput is less. And energy consumption is also very high in public blockchain, as we have heard that Ethereum and Bitcoin blockchain requires a lot of energy consumption, but in private, it is very less. Sorry. So next comes the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum is one of the biggest public blockchain after Bitcoin. When we talk about difference between Ethereum, the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin is Ethereum is also a public blockchain. Bitcoin is also a public blockchain. They both have their native crypto, that is BTC and ETH. But Ethereum allows us to build decentralized applications over blockchain, and it allows us to write smart contracts, which Bitcoin does not allow. So these are the components of Ethereum blockchain, that is smart contracts. So smart contracts, certain type of code or the business logic, what we code or what we write over the blockchain, and that is basically what we call the backend part of a decentralized application. Next comes the Ethereum cryptocurrency, which is the native cryptocurrency, and if you have to interact with Ethereum blockchain, you need Ethereum cryptocurrency. Next comes the decentralized applications, which we are allowed to build over Ethereum blockchain. Next comes and the EVM part. EVM is the Ethereum virtual machine on which the whole Ethereum ecosystem runs. And next comes the POW consensus mechanism. So this is the proof of work consensus mechanism. So there are different types of consensus mechanism. Consensus basically means an agreement. What happens is whenever a node is validating a transaction, so all these nodes and miners come to a consensus or an agreement that that particular person will mine the block. So there are different types of consensus mechanism. Proof of work is the consensus mechanism which is used by Ethereum and Bitcoin. There are others such as proof of stake, proof of authority stake. There are like many consensus mechanisms which are used by different blockchain technologies. Next comes the use cases of blockchain technology. So there are many use cases, but the major one is decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is the shift from traditional centralized finance, which you used to see traditional centralized finance such as banking systems, investments, loans. So these are part of the centralized finance. But decentralized finance is different. It contains NFTs, it contains cryptos. So next coming to crypto or the fungible tokens. So cryptocurrency is a form of a digital asset that is based on a network that is distributed across large number of computers. That is the blockchain. This decentralized structure allows them to exist outside the control of central authority. So cryptocurrencies are that type of currency on which there is no central authority governing. So there are many decentralized, and you can also trade cryptocurrencies on centralized, decentralized exchanges such as CoinDCX, Uniswap, PancakeSwap. So these are different types of exchanges through on which you can trade and buy, sell cryptocurrencies. So why they are known as fungible tokens? Because fungible means many. Because cryptocurrencies are many. Like there is not only one Bitcoin. There are 21 million Bitcoin. So that's how they are also known as fungible tokens. And next come the NFTs, that are the non-fungible tokens. So NFT is also a form of crypto or a digital asset which is stored on the blockchain to record the ownership status or the digital. And NFT can be anything. It can be an image, it can be a video, it can be a meme, it can be a text. So anyone can view that item because these are also in a form of these are NFTs also are stored in a form of a transaction on the blockchain through which we can view on the distributed ledger. So NFTs are known as non-fungible tokens because NFTs are unique. So there can be only one NFT. There can except from fungible tokens. Like taking example of WWE cards, which we used to play in our childhood. So there were many WWE cards, but each card has its own unique value. The same is with the NFTs. Each NFT is unique, and that's why they are known as non-fungible. Means they cannot be traded with each other. Unlike Bitcoin, Bitcoin can be traded with each other. Next comes the one of the major use cases of blockchain, that is medical and healthcare, and a lot of going currently lot is going on in the medical and healthcare right now in terms of blockchain because in traditional systems of healthcare and medical management is like they are not able to maintain the data. The medical supply chain tracking is very poor. And to overcome all this and to make this fast and more efficient, blockchain can be used because once the data is stored on the blockchain, it is easy to track, it is easy to prove the origin. So, and data management also becomes easy when we are storing the data on the blockchain. So that's how we can overcome the issues of medical and healthcare. Next comes the supply chain. So existing global supply chain are very inefficient. They are very poorly tracked. We even sometimes don't know where our goods are coming from. So that is due because of inefficient and poorly tracked supply chain, the prices are also very high, and there is no transparency. So thus to overcome all this, blockchain can be used because, as I earlier said, data management is easy. We can track the origin of the we can track the origin of the transaction. So if we are handling supply chain over blockchain, we'll be able to prove the provenance of consumer goods. We can tell the consumers that the particular good is legitimate or not. So that's how we can make supply chain more efficient using blockchain. Next comes a voting mechanism. Taking example of a country like India, as we know, voting manipulation is there. We even don't know that our vote is being manipulated or not. But and sometimes what happen is some other person is coming to vote for a particular person. So voting manipulation is also a very big issue in voting mechanism. But in blockchain, it cannot be. If we are using voting on blockchain, as we know that once a vote or a transaction will be stored on the blockchain, it cannot be manipulated, it cannot be modified, or updated. So and it will also be easy to manage all the votes on the blockchain, and no one can, as earlier said, the blockchain is secure and no one can hack the network. So that's how there will be no hacking in the voting mechanism if we use blockchain technology. Next comes the opportunities into blockchain. So there are many opportunities in the blockchain, and it is expected that blockchain market will grow to 40 trillion up to year 2025. And so as we know, the market will grow. There will be plenty of job opportunities in the market, and So these are some job opportunities in the market. The first one is blockchain developer. As we know, like there are two types of developer. One is blockchain core developer, and the other one is blockchain software developer. So the blockchain core developer is the one who works on the core side, who build the protocols, who build the whole network, who develop a single-handed blockchain. And the one is blockchain software developer who build the decentralized applications and smart contracts. Next comes the blockchain architect. So the work of the blockchain architect is to design the whole network, the how the blockchain will work and optimize everything. Next comes the blockchain legal consultant, because in currently in blockchain firms, the legal consultants are are required, because when it comes to building cryptocurrencies and tokenomics, there are some legal issues which we have to face. So there comes the blockchain legal consultants. So next is the community manager role. Community manager role is like one of the fascinating role actually. Community manager and blockchain content writer role. So earlier these roles were not even asked, but when blockchain came, when NFTs and crypto projects came, the demand of community managers and blockchain content writers, it surged. It surged rapidly because uh, we need blockchain content writers in the market, and good blockchain content writers who are good with blockchain, and the community managers who have good base of blockchain, because they will be the one who will be handling the whole community, and they will be the one who will be curating content on the blockchain, because research is required and the knowledge of blockchain is required. So that's why these two roles are surging rapidly. Next come the blockchain designers. Blockchain designers similar to blockchain architect only. They're also the one who designed the blockchain, and in blockchain designer comes the UI and front end designers as well. As Web 3.0 is also emerging, a good graphic and UI designers are also required for developing AR and VR technologies. Because currently a good user experience is also required in the decentralized applications. So that was the job opportunities in the blockchain. And so that was all, guys. This was all about general introduction about what is Web 3.0 and what is blockchain. Now, I guess we can take some Q&A session.
That was a very informative session. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Blockchain is one of the most trending topics in the
Yes,
tech right now, and it's currently in a huge demand. I'm sure
yes, exactly.
most of the enthusiasts among our participants are very glad to have gotten such deep insights about it. So thank you about it. I'm sure
Yes,
a lot of them
because
have a
Web 2.0 is basically shifting to Web 3.0 now. So that's why
exactly.
demand is huge at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure a lot of them will have many questions. So
Sure,
before
definitely.
that, I have one question. So personally asking, what exactly got you into blockchain? Like, where did the interest to explore start from?
So basically, what happened is, earlier, I learned web development. I got into MERN stack. I started doing full stack development. But when I got into third year, one of my friend introduced to blockchain, because at that time we both were working on some research thing into web, and then we thought, why shouldn't we integrate blockchain into it? So that's how I got introduced to blockchain, and I was also fascinated by its scope and the applications which are there in the technology.
That's great. So before we move into the questions in the chat box, we have some pre-questions that we got from the registration form. So
Sure,
if
sure.
you could go through that. So one of the question was that like the recent news has brought into notice how blockchain can facilitate criminal activity, especially that pipeline hack, where the hackers demanded money through blockchain because they couldn't be traced. So how could this be tackled without undermining the security features of the transactions through blockchain?
See, basically, the technology is new, right? And as I said, the blockchain offers almost like it is almost impossible to hack the blockchain. But and as I mentioned the word almost, so it means like it's not like it can be hackable, because there are some attacks which were going on into blockchain, and which makes blockchain more vulnerable So these attacks are, that is distributed denial of distributed denial of service attack, that is the DDoS attack, and that is the 51% attack. So through these attacks, they are makes the blockchain vulnerable, and currently, I guess the work is going on, the research is going on how to overcome this. And
There was a recent attack on OpenSea, I guess, last week, guys.
yes,
Uh,
there was.
approximately 1.7 million worth of NFT was stolen.
So
So,
OpenSea is basically a centralized. It is not a decentralized. OpenSea, what OpenSea does is, OpenSea, whenever you are making your NFT on OpenSea, right? You can modify that particular NFT, and it is stored on a centralized database only.
okay.
Yeah. So what happens is, whenever someone tries to buy that particular NFT, that is when and that particular NFT is minted on the blockchain.
Uh-huh.
So because OpenSea basically allows, if someone wants to try to make some changes in the NFT, that's why it is stored on a centralized database first. Then it at the time of transaction, at the time of selling, or at the time of auction, it is stored on the blockchain. So that's how OpenSea works. I guess it follows the hybrid model of centralized and decentralized.
Okay.
I think what Likhit is talking about a couple of days ago, I think one user lost $1.7 million. And what happens is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got the context. So Lakshit, that was when somebody was phishing. So what
Yeah.
happens is sometimes yeah. So what happens is sometimes people also send like scammy links, and I mean because everyone is looking to generate wealth. You also get these links like share this with 10 people, and then we'll send you an Adidas sneakers or something. So that was the sort of link that this person got, and he clicked on this link, and then the hacker stole his information. That's what happened. And yeah, and I think in terms of criminal activities, I mean more or less activities that I would say addressed are smuggling and money laundering. These are the activities that really need to be taken control of. I think blockchain is very safe space. The fact that it's an immutable ledger. Hackers can't actually hack the blockchain. Yes,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, if I was to buy 47, if I was to pay in crypto, so it would be very difficult. I mean, if I was to buy a whole shipment, then probably the government would be tracking. But if I was to buy 10, and if I was to buy like 10 every week for 2 weeks, so that's like I'll buy a lot of these guns or bombs, or I'll pay for a lot of them, uh, like by distributing it through different accounts. So then you'll need like really good accountants to sit and see what transactions are being made. Then it becomes very hectic. Don't use security. I think Stamp is there, Callidio, Tentally, a lot of these apps are there to sort of analyze smart contracts and to figure out the vulnerabilities there. Money laundering is something that
Thank you.
So I guess we have a question here. Crypto cannot become a currency, but there is a possibility of digital currency coming based upon blockchain technology. So talking about this, as India has also announced that they'll be launching their own digital currency, but what is happening is they are not making that digital currency on blockchain. They'll be using CBDC for that. That is central bank digital currency. So what CBDCs are is CBDC is type of a electronic record. Indian government is making its own CBDC in a form of INR, and that digital currency will be stored on the electronic record, not on the blockchain. So that is the major difference between CBDC and crypto. So I guess people and students are not aware of the fact that they think that Indian cryptocurrency is coming, but that is not the thing. Indian CBDC is coming up.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
also we have this question from Jajit that we could track supply chain with blockchain, but the whole concept of blockchain is decentralization. At 7:39, Lakshit.
Uh,
I'll take this one.
Web
So basically, with supply chain, what happens is people lose track of shipments and orders. And you go to Amazon, and sometimes it says that deliveries here, then delivery is here. But sometimes the delivery is not there, and things just get messed up and you receive the wrong package sometimes. Sometimes you order an iPhone and you get a BlackBerry. So those are the sort of mess ups that happen with Amazon. And these shipments, when there's a lot of transportation involved, say for example, you're in the what do you call that, merchant navy. So there's a lot of supply chain going on in there, and there's a lot of corruption there that get this through customs for me, or a lot of this stuff. So decentralization as such has nothing to do with this, but in particular, what happens is that all the transactions on blockchain are timestamped. So okay, why is start my
Yeah,
video? I
so
don't know why my video.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my video on? I'm sorry. Is my
No.
video on?
Yeah, now it's on.
Yeah, okay, sorry. So all the transactions are timestamped and they get recorded on the blockchain. So it's not about decentralization, it's about which so for example, your packet starts from Mumbai and it has to stop to Delhi, and in between it has 10 stops. So now if somebody sort of has a QR code and he scans the QR code at all 10 destinations, then the record of that package reaching those 10 destinations is immutable in the blockchain. And that is how the supply chain could be revolutionized, in the sense that all the days that, for example, if I say ki, "Okay, tomorrow it will reach this place," so I have proof that it will reach this place because when it reached that place, it was timestamped, and that timestamp was upgraded on the in the blockchain. So that is what is meant by supply chain. Lakshit, can we take this one? Any roadmap to becoming a blockchain developer?
Yes, yes, sure. Actually, what you can do is you can join our Discord server. Actually, I have written a whole guide, and I've also made a video to how to become a blockchain developer, how to get started. But let me tell you here as well. So, for becoming a blockchain developer, you can first start with programming. Like you should have a good programming base. You can start learning JavaScript, Java, Python, and have a good programming base with that, and then you can jump up to DSA. So having a good DSA skills is also very beneficial. Then you can simultaneously start with the basics of blockchain and then jump to blockchain development, that is learning blockchain based technologies such as Solidity, Golang, and Python. Java is also used into blockchain development. I guess Algorand is a blockchain which uses Java, and you can also learn Rust for enterprise level blockchain like Solana and Corda. Rust is basically similar to Java only. So that's how you can start, and then you should start getting a hands-on experience as well. That will be much beneficial for you.
Yeah.
In fact,
And
we also had an assignment for all of you. We'll probably share a GitHub repo that we just created, and you guys can actually get started if you have some basic knowledge, or even if you don't have any basic knowledge, you'll have to explore a lot more then. But if you have some basic knowledge of programming, then we'll share that GitHub repo with you guys, and probably you can just get started. And we'll also hold boot camps and a lot of other webinars for you guys if you're interested.
Basically, we have made a GitHub repo for this small assignment, like how to write a smart contract and like how to deploy one. So through that, I guess you can get to know like how a smart contract actually looks like and how we deploy it on the blockchain. So it's just basically a simple smart contract of a calculator only and doing some addition subtractions only. So
I
it
think
is
that will be a
beneficial.
very valuable takeaway after
Sure,
this
sure. Actually,
webinar as well.
yeah,
If you
we'll
could
share
share that.
that on our Discord link, and on our Discord, we like have resources for for someone who is starting into blockchain and who is into a intermediate level. We regularly post on YouTube and Instagram. So plus also one more thing, like we are also Sanket and we are also part of Pathbreaker Coin-D6 community. You can also join that community. So that community is basically it follows a decentralized architecture. Like there is no agreement. You can join the community. You can learn there, and they also provide you with some incentives if you write for them.
Okay, that's great. So closely related to that question is another question is how do you make your own coin?
Okay,
So
so it is actually when you get to know how to make your own coin, it is trust me, it is very easy. But for that you should have a good hold on writing smart contracts. So there are different type of cryptocurrency. If you want to make your own crypto on Ethereum blockchain, so we make ERC-20 tokens. So, and for making NFTs, we use ERC-721 tokens. So, ERC-20 token is a type of a standard or a protocol what we follow to build our own cryptocurrency. There are some standards to build, such as firstly, we have to set the symbol, the name of the crypto, then we have to set the total supply, and there are some functions such as mint functions, buy, trade functions. So these are all the functions through which we follow all the protocols of ERC-20. If you want to make your own coin on other cryptos, on other blockchain technologies such as I guess on Algorand, you can do that, but at the moment I'm not aware of that because I've worked mostly on Ethereum blockchain only.
got it. That's and another question from Lavkash is about blockchain forensics and how that is an interesting application of blockchain technology. Any idea about it?
Yeah, yeah. So
That's a
see, yeah. So blockchain forensics is basically when you track the flow of crypto investments. I think this question is related to the fact that I was talking about smuggling funds through or laundering money through crypto investments. So yeah, I think it's an interesting and upcoming field. A lot of brainy people going into this field. So earlier, I mean, the trend used to be that people used to want to do an MBA from Harvard and then go to work for Citadel as their investments analyst. And now this trend is coming that people just want to study about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I don't know about the degree or the pedigree that they have, but they want to go to companies like Cypherblade or Nesari, Arisaka or Chain Analysis. A lot of these great companies and sort of analyze decentralized investments made on decentralized exchanges. And it's basically a form of accounting um, on the blockchain or on all the transactions that are being made on the blockchain. So it's really interesting. A lot of new use cases. And what happens is the ecosystem is still expanding, right? And a lot of new projects are coming every single day. And as more and more projects come and the investment increases, probably the role of such organizations would increase greatly.
So, are there any more questions? Please do direct in our chat box, and our panelists would be very enthusiastic to answer them.
I guess please explain the intentions of making NFTs. Okay, so
Yeah, NFTs again has taken the world a storm for the past
yes,
few months, especially being mentioned quite a lot. So, and it's staggering to see the kind of amount that NFT generates. Which, if you just look at from the outside, all you can know is NFT is basically a picture, a digital file, and then people are buying it for millions of dollars. So, I think it'd
what
be
is
great if you
happening
could shed light on
is
that.
what is happening in the market actually apna like you have seen like NFTs of Bored Ape and CryptoPunks, they are being sold for like millions of dollars. So what is happening is there's a utility behind these NFTs actually. So they are offering a utility that if someone buys a Bored Ape NFT, that particular person will get a chance to attend a cruise party on the metaverse. So that is the utility of of buying that particular NFT. So that's how all these NFT projects are coming up. They offer a utility, and if you want to prove your ownership of your digital assets, like you can make NFT of a real estate as well. So what is happening is these NFTs, they are stored in the form of a transaction also on the blockchain, and as explained, it follows all the characteristics of the blockchain. It is transparent. It proves the ownership, and it proves the supply chain, the provenance of that particular asset. So that is the main intention of making NFTs. Uh, yeah, but NFTs have a lot of applications. Like NFTs are being used in sports. They can be used in fashions, and they can be used in the form of tickets as well. So that is the whole intention of making NFTs.
And
Regarding
one, go ahead.
okay. Regarding NFTs, okay, if I'm a NFT collector, what all the factors I should be looking at?
So basically, if you are collecting NFTs, first you should see that you are collecting premium NFTs only, and that NFTs should hold a utility. Like they should not be some random NFT you are collecting, because you can make an NFT even in 5 minutes on OpenSea,
Yeah, like
instead of
so
writing
many influencers and all
yes, yes,
advertising
yes.
about it. So,
So basically, they are actually monetizing their content. Like artists are selling, instead of selling in as a physical art in a gallery. They are making the NFT of that particular art, and they are selling on instead of selling on galleries, they are selling on NFT marketplaces.
yeah,
So because also transactions are being made on the blockchain, so it also solves the issue of transparency. Like ऐसा नहीं होगा कि कोई आपके पैसे लेके भाग गया in what happens in physical galleries. So
Yeah.
that is the whole purpose. Content creators are monetizing their content by making NFTs. So I guess it has a huge application. I
See,
guess we can keep another webinar on NFTs and cryptos.
yeah.
Like we
But
can spend.
NFTs initially they gained value because of FOMO.
Yeah.
If we only have 5 Rolls Royce in the world, and we have a lot of billionaires, then all of the billionaires will bid to the highest point to get one of those 5 Rolls Royce, because there are only 5 of those. Similarly with NFTs also, people had a lot of disposable income, and no NFTs. Yeah, initially they just started for sure. And there's a lot of scams with NFTs also. So there was this NFT through Sotheby's. Sotheby's is the most premium auction house, and they auctioned a series of NFTs which was sold for the highest amount. So what happened was that Sotheby's had previously contacted a buyer, and they asked the buyer to bid way above the floor price to drive the sales of the NFTs higher. And they actually paid the investor to do this, because of which the cost or the pricing for the whole NFT series was way beyond what it deserved. So auction houses do this also. Some of the reasons why NFTs are, and obviously they are a bit overhyped. But now what is happening is that decentralized finance is meeting NFTs. So now if you bought an NFT, you can use that as collateral to take loans. We were recently working with a platform called DeFi.co, and we built their tech stack and everything for them. And they recently on their platform, within the first couple of days, $500,000 of loan have been sanctioned against the NFTs, and we are working towards building a non-collateralized debt system as well. So the thing is basically, I mean, as long as people keep on finding utilities for NFTs, I think the ecosystem is going to expand, because people have already invested in this, right? So if you have invested, like for example, if you invest 500 rupees in a cricket bat, so probably you'll just forget about it if you stop playing. But if you invest 50,000 in a cricket bat, then probably you'll keep in mind that, I did invest 50,000, and it is a significant amount of money, and I have to make it work somehow, anyhow. I will have to use this bat. I mean, it's not the best example, but if you invest so much of money, it sort of drives you to do something. Let's take a
Some
look at the
questions
other.
on
Guys, like I have shared the Discord link as well. You can join the Discord server, and like if someone has some questions and they are not able to ask, please feel free to ask on our Discord server as well.
yeah. So there's this question on how to use Ethereum into your codes. That will
Uh,
probably relate to how you get into blockchain and then
uh, uh,
develop good coding skills.
which question it is?
The recent one at 758. Madhav has
Okay,
asked.
how would you get into using Ethereum in your code? So basically, you are not using Ethereum. You are build the smart contracts which you are building using Solidity. You're building those smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain only. That is the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. So what happens is, whenever you are like if you are done with building a smart contract using Solidity on Ethereum, and it's time for deployment, so you are deploying your contract on Ethereum network. The contract will be stored in the form of a transaction only on Etherscan. So the transaction which I showed earlier of Etherscan, that was of a smart contract only. So that particular smart contract was deployed on Etherscan, and you can even interact with the smart contract. So what happens is after deployment, we get a bytecode, we get ABI, that is application binary interface, and we use that ABI. We use that ABI with React.js or any other front-end library to connect blockchain with our front end, and that we use using Web3.js library. It is also a JavaScript library. And JavaScript plays a very big role in blockchain development. Trust me. That's why it is said if you are having a web development experience with blockchain, it is very great. You can land up a very good job.
Okay, so one interesting question I came across: what are the best sources of learning blockchain technology? Are the platforms that provide blockchain certifications good? So this is interesting because we were just talking about this some time ago, and we actually explored a lot of e-learning platforms. So I mean, I will not publicize any or demean any platforms, but there are platforms that charge you a lot of money and they give you certifications. But see, if you're trying to learn something, there's a lot of open source code. There are a lot of good places that you can learn. We'll probably share some more GitHub repos. But we would request you, both me and Lakshit would request you not to spend extravagantly on any course. And I mean, and if you go on Udemy and you see some course for 400, you can spend those $400, but trust me, a lot of these courses are not worth it. The content is simply not good. E-platforms that provide good blockchain certifications for professionals, some of them are really good, but in general, certifications for students, if you've had bad experiences with some of the other like platforms which offer like JavaScript courses, or I mean, you'll probably have the similar kind of experiences with these platforms as well. Just don't invest a lot of money is our advice.
We have
And if you have
also, I
any
guess,
other
Sanket,
doubts,
you can tell them about the courses, like the courses which we have shared on our server. Like there are some courses as well,
yeah.
starting with Solidity and blockchain.
So yeah, we can reshare that in our Discord server. We'll share all the best resources for you guys to learn blockchain methodically. Like as in, you won't find that anything is out of place. You can start from step 1. By step 20, you'll have learned blockchain at the basics of it. And obviously our DMs are always open. You can always ping us or probably share your doubts in the community itself. Probably some other people are also having similar doubts. Would really help them out as well. A smart
So
contract.
yeah, we might take one last question before we close this. We have a question
Sure.
from Pawan Tej. Smart contracts are editable and empty.
So, smart contracts actually not empty. There are various states in the smart contract, and use states actually in the smart contracts. Smart contracts. So we can't say they are empty, and they are not editable. While building a professional decentralized app, we use some concept of upgradable smart contracts, because if we are trying to upgrade that particular smart contract due to some bug or anything, we use this concept of upgradability. So currently, I'm not I haven't worked on this upgradable smart contract, but I'm sure this is the concept we follow, and I'll share some resources regarding this on the server, and I can answer your question there as well.
So guys, any more questions, please do join the Discord server and have a meaningful interaction in that community as well. So Irfan.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for answering all the questions we had so patiently. I think it's time to wrap up this informative session. Thank you, sir, for this amazing talk, and thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you will enjoy us for our future editions of Tech Sorted with another engaging speaker. Till then, stay tuned with our Tech Sorted series. Thank you guys, and goodbye.
Thank you so much. Me and Sanket, we would like to thank you because it was a very informative session, and we were having a very good host with ourselves and a very good audience. So, in last, I would like to add, if someone was not able to ask in this session and they have some doubts, please feel free to ask on our server.
Thank you, Sanket. Thank you, Lakshit, and
Thank you so much.
thank you all. Thank you.